Hey guys, just want to make another quick video to let you know I will be making another video on the Helix Pedal Drive System. Trying to complete the installation. Finally got it completed today. It shouldn't have taken more than a couple hours. Ends up taking a couple of days, and now making my fourth trip to the hardware store to having to take the entire pedal drive with me to take into the store to try and find a nut to fit on the propeller shaft, because nowhere in the instructions, nowhere on the company's website, nowhere on the internet period, and even called West Marine, which is an authorized Wilderness Systems dealer, and they didn't have a clue either. Trying to find a nut to go on there because I take it out to try out the system. It took quite a while just to get the rudder and stuff, working properly, the rudder controls. And anyway, got out there, really windy, but I mean, the kayak was performing beautifully. The pedal system was working great. Was really excited about it. And brought it back to the to the shore. So I was going to walk up to my house, go ahead and get my fishing gear and go fishing. But as soon as I popped it up, the system up to get zero draft so I could pull it into shore, I discovered that within about 10 minutes, and less than that, it spun the cap off of the propeller, the little propeller. And they give you this little cone screw that goes on to hold your propeller on, and it's got a little hole inside that little cap, and it's one of those little like cone caps like you see on an airplane propeller engine, like on a Cessna or something like that, or even the the turbo fans. And there's no threads, and they give you no information on it. Nowhere in the instructions do they even show a picture of the propeller or the nut or anything to do with it. So I screwed around with that for an hour and a half trying to figure out how in the world do you hold this nut on there. And like I say, there was a little hole in the cap itself, which great. If it would have been threaded and they would have gave me a set screw, that's perfect. I screw it in, I know how it works, it holds it on. What just happened didn't need to happen, but it did, because there was nothing. There was no hole that goes through the propeller shaft, where you can stick it through the holding cap, through the propeller shaft, like a cotter pin, where you can secure it on there. So I said, well, maybe it's not a big deal because there's no information on it. I've wasted over an hour, almost 2 hours, just trying to find information on it, which there is none. And then decided, well, it must not be a big deal. You must not need anything. So I'll just, put it on there hand tight as good as I can, because there are no threads. I mean, there are no, no way to tighten it down other than hand tight, because it's just a cone. It's like a cup, So I put it on there, pretty tight. And sure enough, it wasn't a few minutes on my first time out testing it out that the damn thing spun off. So I intend to do another video, but this time, instead of doing it in parts, now that I've completed the installation, I know all the weaknesses, and trust me, there are some weaknesses. And I'm going to send this directly, once I've made it, it's going to be unedited, unscripted, just like everything I do. And it's going directly to Wilderness Systems. I don't care, technicians, engineers, customer support, if they even have that department, I'm not sure. But I'm going to find out. And I can promise you this, by the time I get done with this little excursion, my fourth trip, I've had to take an hour to go back and forth to the parts store to install a $1,200 system that came, well, I'll put that in the video. But I will be the first one in the history of God's green earth that ever posted anything about the Helix pedal drive propeller system, the actual propeller system. I was able to find one video, and the guy does a good job talking about how it took him forever. He could find nothing on a replacement propeller for his, Helix pedal drive system, and he stumbled across it on accident. And he was kind enough to share that information with people like me, which I really appreciate, because I know he spent hours trying to chase down just a replacement propeller for that thing. So anyway, I really appreciated that, but even then, he doesn't show the nut. He doesn't show taking the old one off, putting the new one on. Nobody does. It can't be found, or if it can be found, it's smarter than me, because I burnt hours doing it. To the point of just total irritation. So, I will tell you this: when the system's installed, and when you finally get it to work, I think it's going to be fantastic, spectacular. And there's nothing I was looking forward to more than being able to do a video and sing the praises of this Wilderness System Kayak and the flexibility it has for not only the Helix pedal drive, but for the Helix motor drive. And instead, my opinion has totally swung the other way as far as getting the parts, actually installing it yourself. They have a video, actually factory video, in installing this thing. It was made back in 2017 on the Helix, installing the Helix pedal drive system. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, the video that they make with the factory guy, and of course he's right there, I guarantee you he makes sure all of his parts are right, everything works, it slips in without a hitch, everything goes perfectly, easy as it can be done. Wrong. That's not the way it is. In fact, the video from 5 years ago from the factory takes steps completely out of order than they do in the installation manual. And the installation manual has been copied and copied and copied so many times, the printing quality is so poor that you can't see the diagrams, you can't see the pictures. It is a mess. And my business, my entire life has been in marketing. I've started 4 businesses from scratch, and every one of them has been successful. Thankfully, because you're taking a risk anytime you strike out as an entrepreneur. But I've been a marketing director for Fortune 500 companies, and I am just totally flabbergasted by the lack of marketing, proper marketing and everything that Wilderness Systems is doing. I applaud them. They have a great concept for offering a kayak that you can make the decision later whether you want to go with pedal drive or you want to go with motor drive, or if you just want to manually pedal it. Awesome concept. They have a niche in the market, and they could have exploded with this thing, and just like the Old Town 120 and 135 autopilot revolutionized the kayak industry, and they dropped the ball. It is ridiculous what they've done. And I don't think they even realize how much money they have basically left on the table, because it was poorly done. So anyway, I intend to make a video. It's unedited. Everything's just like I was talking to you, like we're sitting in a lawn chair. That's the way I like to do things. Real people. We have real experiences, and I think a lot of us had the same experiences. It's kind of refreshing to have somebody finally say, hey, everything's not all glitz and glamour or coming up roses. Anybody that deals with a do-it-yourself kit, they know that it turns out to be more of an exercise in problem solving than in, I want to say money and time saving, endeavor. I couldn't think of the word anyway. I'm kind of frustrated right now. But anyway, taking my whole pedal drive system up to the hardware store. Got to throw it in the cart, take it in there, see if I can't find some nut that goes on there. Can't even find the thread size. I don't even know what to buy. And see if I can't find something that works and matches the thread pattern. And then once I finally get it done, I'm going to make the video. I'm going to send it directly to Wilderness Systems. I'm going to post it on YouTube as well. So if you're interested in this kayak or in the Wilderness Systems at all, which they are a great product, don't get me wrong. I mean, I want to do nothing but sing their praises, but I got to be honest. I got to tell the truth. So anyway, you can watch that video later on. I'll have more information about what I went through to get this thing done, how big of a pain in the butt it is, what you can expect if you do buy the kayak and then decide to buy the pedal system or the motor drive system separately, you know, once you get used to your kayak, and kind of let you know what to expect, so you're not blindsided like I was, you know, or totally led astray by, you know, a factory video that, you know, they haven't even bothered to update in the past 5 years, and the kit is not even the same as it was in 2017. So anyway, stay tuned for that one. Have a great day and tight lines.